for allegedly raping a woman for years, starting when she was in middle school.
Happening. Good evening. I'm Adriana Cotero. Cockfighting advocates have another highly placed ally in Congress. Puerto Rico Representative Jennifer Gonzalez-Colon offered her help in a recent hearing in Washington. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The U.S. Commonwealth of Puerto Rico has a thriving cockfighting industry that's been highly regulated since 1922, said Delegate Gonzalez-Colon at a recent Office of Insular Affairs budget hearing attended by territorial leaders. She says the federal ban on cockfighting that recently went into effect has rattled a well-established industry back on her home island.
In the case of Puerto Rico, we did a state new legislation in December of last year allowing this to be treated as a state issue, not interfering with the interstate commerce. But again, as territories, we don't have senators. We don't have many members with vote in the floor of the House. So I just want to tell you that anything that we could do together to push for this and how this is impacting our economies and our way of life should be really appreciated.
To push their common interests and aid in a joint lobbying effort, she called on territorial leaders to set up a meeting or send her a summary of their concerns on the cockfighting ban.
So we should push together again to see if we can have at least a year or a 2-year waiver to see the economic impact of banning that kind of industry. That's what we're asking. That legislation was approved without any study of the impact of that ban in our respective territories as well.
In signing the Puerto Rican law in December that allows cockfighting to continue, Governor Wanda Vazquez argued that it complied with federal law by prohibiting the import or export of gamecocks. A legal challenge, though, is expected. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
The offices of Guam Homeland Security and Civil Defense hosted the quarterly Senior Advisory Committee meeting. This was the inaugural meeting since the 2003 executive order that established the formation of the committee. Here's more. The future protection and current prevention for the island.
Not only for natural disasters, but now we're really focusing on man-made threats as well.
Guam security agencies came together to discuss the way forward for man-made threats involving cybersecurity, public safety, and school safety at the inaugural Senior Advisory Committee meeting. According to GHS Office of Civil Defense's spokesperson Jen Ross, these are 3 present challenges.
With this meeting, it's just really a focus on being able to bring all of these key partners together, making sure that everyone is on the same page and making sure that we're all aware of each other's plans and procedures when it comes to man-made threats.
At a larger scale, Guam's critical infrastructure is based from technology. Ross says this is why securing cyber activity is crucial for GHS and the island people.
One of the major focus points of this inaugural meeting is cybersecurity. That's becoming more and more an emergent threat we're seeing for man-made threats.
During today's meeting, presentations on cybersecurity centralized on bringing awareness to people before they get online and how they can protect themselves and their businesses. Presenters included Chief Technology Officer for the Government of Guam, Frank Lujan, Mariana Regional Fusion Center, Jerome Bamba, U.S. Department of Homeland Security Protective Security Advisor, James Cruz. As for public safety, Guam Police Department Chief Stephen Ignacio briefly spoke on behalf of the department's new task force program.
The Port Authority Police, the Airport Police, Customs and Quarantine, and the Conservation from the Department of Agriculture. They've now formed a new task force that we put together. And one of the first things that we did was that case involving the drive-by knife throwing incident in Sedona. That case was solved within 4 days.
During the presentation, Chief Ignacio said the task force allows officers to solve cases that the Criminal Investigation Division can't respond immediately to because they are investigating bigger cases such as homicide. And speaking on behalf of school safety was Guam Department of Education Deputy Superintendent Stacy Sahagan, Exercise Planner John Camacho, and Program Coordinator of Training, Exercises and Drills Patrick Leon Guerrero. The governor has denied the Guam Basketball Confederation's request to host the Hong Kong men's national team for the 2021 FIBA Asia Cup. On February 5th, the GBC announced that due to concerns of the coronavirus, the Guam versus Hong Kong game was moved to Guam. It was scheduled for Thursday, February 20th at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. And this afternoon, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero sent a letter to GBC President E.J. Calvo, stating that because of the effects from the 2019 novel coronavirus and the risk of exposure exposure, she must disallow the competition. Calvo tells KUAM it's unfortunate that it was the government's call because we did agree to host them, and this cancellation is a change of plans. We weren't breaking any rules with the current travel ban in place. They are legally allowed to come to Guam. We looked into this prior, and due to a lack of support from the government in terms of the facility use, we will have to postpone. 2 weeks ago, President Donald Trump imposed a travel ban prohibiting foreign nationals from China from entering the United States. However, Hong Kong and Macau are exempt from the president's declaration. Calvo says they plan to issue an official statement on how to move forward. Guam is also scheduled to challenge New Zealand on Sunday, February 23rd. According to Adaloop, that game is still on for now. And several hundred Americans were evacuated on Sunday from a quarantine cruise ship in Japan. Once back in the U.S., they face 14 more days of quarantine. CBS News correspondent Meg Oliver has the latest from New York.
Time to go. I think it's time to cut our losses and take off.
Cheryl and Paul Molesky were among several hundred Americans headed back to the U.S. after being quarantined on the Diamond Princess ship docked near Tokyo.
For the last 12 days, we have not stepped foot out of this door into the hallway.
The Moleskys of Syracuse, New York, and the other Americans evacuated from Japan were flying Sunday to Travis Air Force Base in California and Lackland Air Force Base in Texas. All will go through 2 more weeks of quarantine to make sure they have not contracted the coronavirus, which by far remains most prevalent in China.
This kind of spread, does this indicate this is becoming a pandemic?
Well, a pandemic is when you have multiple countries throughout the world that have what's called sustained transmission from person to person to person, multiple generations. It certainly is on the verge of that happening reasonably soon unless containment is more successful than it is right now.
As for the Moleskys, they seemed relieved and excited to be homeward bound.
The bus will take you to the airplane takes you to the United States, and then you get your passport. All good with that? Okay.
Meanwhile, officials say some 40 more Americans on the ship confirmed to have coronavirus will stay in hospitals in Japan. Meg Oliver, CBS News.
The cruise ship MS Westerdam was denied entry to Guam's commercial port last week in order to protect the island from the potential spread of the coronavirus. The boat had also sought but was denied entry to Japan, Thailand, Taiwan, and the Philippines. On Friday, the Prime Minister of Cambodia allowed the boat to dock. The Westerdam's operator, Holland American Line, had initially said no cases of the virus had been confirmed among its passengers and crew members, and hundreds were able to disembark. However, concerns have been raised after an 83-year-old American woman who was a passenger on the Westerdam tested positive for the virus after she traveled to Kuala Lumpur. This has prompted questions about whether enough preventive measures were taken with passengers who not only disembarked but have traveled back to other destinations. 2 teenagers were transported to the Guam Memorial Hospital as a result of a structure fire that occurred in Dededo on Sunday afternoon. Guam Fire Department spokesperson Sharika Chargaloff says the report was made to 911 at around 1:08 p.m. Units arrived on scene minutes later. The structure that was on the fire was an extension to a concrete home along Chalanbalaku. Residents in the area tell KUAM that multiple families stay in the extension. The 2 teenagers suffered minor injuries after helping people out of the structure. The cause of the fire is under investigation. The Guam Police Department made 2 arrests on Saturday, but only 1 person was officially charged as of today. According to the magistrate's complaint, 46-year-old Natasha Peters was charged with 1st and 2nd-degree criminal sexual conduct via complicity, both as felonies. She was also charged with special allegations of a vulnerable victim. As we reported, Natasha, along with her husband, Dwayne Richard Peters, were arrested on Saturday on rape charges. Police had been searching for him for several months and had learned he had moved to Saipan. When arriving over the weekend at the airport, police picked him up and arrested him. Court documents allege the victim was sexually assaulted multiple times starting from when she was about 11 or 12 years old. The magistrate's complaint details incidents in which Natasha and Dwayne would be in the same bed and they would allegedly sexually assault the victim. Natasha Peters appeared before Magistrates Judge Jonathan Kwan this afternoon, and a cash bail was set for $10,000. On or about February 10th at around 1:30 p.m., GPD officers responded to a criminal sexual conduct complaint reported at a local elementary school. Officers met with a 9-year-old female minor who stated that she had been inappropriately touched by 74-year-old Alberto Lambang, a male known to her. Court documents indicate that sometime between July and November of last year at Lambang's residence, he rubbed the minor's private parts over her clothing and stopped when her parents arrived. The victim ran into another room and told her godmother about what happened and that it was the second time it had occurred. He was charged with second-degree criminal sexual conduct as a first-degree felony. A 44-year-old male who is on probation and on pretrial release was arrested after an officer finds 2 glass pipes. It was on February 14th around 10:34 p.m. when the officer noticed a vehicle exiting the parking lot of OK Fun Game Room in Dededo without coming to a complete stop and running a stop sign. During the traffic stop, the officer saw the driver throw something out the window and onto the roadway. According to court documents, the officer spotted 2 heat-modified glass pipes with a frosty white residue on the road. A field test of the residue tested presumptive positive for meth. During the pat-down, Christopher Manglonia apologized and asked the officer not to be arrested for the pipes. Manglonia was charged with possession of a Schedule II controlled substance as a third-degree felony. And stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now. Attention Guam business owners. Green Energy Solutions would like to help you save on your power bill. We supply various LED lighting, energy-efficient air conditioners, solar thermal VRF systems, and solar panels. You can count on our product warranty and quick turnaround and immediate response service. GESI has saved other local businesses over 80% off their power. Call us to see how much we can save your business. Call us today at 647-8111 or visit gesiguam.com for more information.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
With Pizza Hut's new Mozzarella Poppers pizza, you can switch between 16 fried mozzarella bites and a large pizza. Pizza, then app. App, then pizza. It's your world. We're just making pizza in it. Hurry and try it before it's gone. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
In 2019, we raised the bar by launching the first ever lifetime powertrain warranty on new Hyundais. And now, we're excited to share that starting February 1st, all new 2020 Jeeps, Ram trucks, and Dodge Performance cars will come with a lifetime powertrain warranty. That includes all your favorites like the Jeep Gladiator and award-winning Ram 1500.
So come on over to Cars Plus and experience what makes us different, like our homegrown culture, state-of-the-art facility, world-class products, and unparalleled value.
Hafaday. This is Senator Kelly Marsh Taitano. Guam is an indigenous homeland and a very special place. The 2020 Census of Guam is an opportunity to get a more complete picture of our diverse community that calls Guam home. The results will provide our government the tools to better address our needs, inform public policy, and help us effectively build a better tomorrow. Please join me in supporting the 2020 Census, and together we can shape our future.
Cockfighting is about gambling. It is not about our culture.
I think it's time that we end the medieval practice of having animals fight and die for our amusement.
The vast majority of Guam residents support stronger animal cruelty laws and the ban on cockfighting. Learn more at endcockfighting.org and help prosecute illegal cockfighting on Guam by sending tips to animal cruelty tips at animalwellnessaction.org. Respect the law, respect animals, respect our island.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
On Monday, February 24th at 5:30 p.m., the Guam legislature will be called into session and will be followed by the State of the Island address to be delivered by Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. The State of the Island address will begin promptly at 6:30 p.m. This is the second address from the island's Magahaga. Some good news to start off the week. The Department of Rev and Tax has processed a little over $474,000 in tax refunds and will be mailing it out in the coming days. That's 189 error-free tax returns filed on or about or before August 23rd. If you have any questions, call the Income Tax Branch at 635-1809. And Senator Amanda Shelton has introduced a bill to appropriate a little over $85,000 from the Manpower Development Fund to the Guam Community College for Workforce Development and Apprenticeship Program. The Manpower Development Fund was created for the purpose of funding local manpower training programs on Guam. The fund is grown through fees paid by contractors for every H-2B visa worker arrival, with 70% of this directed to GCC for apprenticeship programs, while the remaining 30% is funneled to the Guam Department of Labor for unemployment surveys and funding the department's Alien Labor Processing Division. The current appropriation will be leveraged to support the school's paramedic training and truck driving boot camp. The most recent Manpower Development Fund report from GCC cites 77 active employers hosting more than 350 apprenticeships through the island. And Spain is celebrating the 500th anniversary of the first circumnavigation of the world by 5 Spanish ships led by Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan. Guam was among the places they stopped on the historic voyage, and GovGuam has formed a special commission to ensure the Chamorro perspective is also shared with the world. Director Robert Underwood chairs the commission.
There will be contests, there will be commemorations, solemn commemorations. There'll be the opportunity for people to be incredibly creative in how we deal with this. And there'll be a revival of things like slingstone competitions and navigation and canoe building. And we anticipate that this will be a major international event, which will make us all proud.
The explorer Magellan sailed into Matic Bay in observance of the historic contact with the Spanish ships. A reenactment is held in the village each year. Preparations are underway for the 68th anniversary of the University of Guam. A proclamation ceremony was held at Adaloop to designate Tuesday, March 10th as UOG Charter Day. President Thomas Christ says the annual event celebrates the regional importance of the school.
I think it's worth noting that our charter is unique among all American public universities in that we are tasked by our sponsoring government to serve all the people of Micronesia. And we're the only example of a sponsoring government directing its public university to serve people beyond the jurisdiction of that government. So this is a great opportunity to bring people from across Guam, but of course from the Northern Marianas and from all of the rest of Micronesia to campus to celebrate our charter, the greatness that the institution aspires to and has achieved.
Christ says one of the biggest highlights of the Charter Day celebration is the annual hut competition. Student groups from different parts of Micronesia build the makeshift structures on the campus lawn. And coming up, Dave Delgado has a rundown of local sports. Keep it here.
Agent Alpha. What's that? An Alpha Insurance customer needs a claim settled immediately? I'm on it. Agent Alpha.
In the event of an accident, theft, or breakdown, each of our Alpha Insure agents are trained to go above and beyond.
This is my stop. There she is. Target acquired. Agent Alpha.
Yes!
Based on the blockbuster that has critics craving. It's the all-new Buffalo Chicken Nacho Fries, topped with shredded chicken and drizzled with tangy buffalo sauce. Bring home this mouth-watering sequel with Taco Bell delivery.
Green Energy Solutions, Inc. would like to congratulate GU Self-Storage along with Calvo Enterprises in doing their part by going green with a monthly power reduction by over 80%. Power consumption before installation was 39,700 kilowatt hours. After installation ended in 6,221 kilowatt hours, which resulted in savings over $10,000 a month. GESI also offers LED lights, solar thermal VRF air conditioning, and solar photovoltaics. Visit our website and let us help you save.
With Pizza Hut's new Mozzarella Poppers pizza, you can switch between 16 fried mozzarella bites and a large pizza. Pizza, then app. App, then pizza. It's your world. We're just making pizza in it. Hurry and try it before it's gone. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We get the show started tonight with some girls' high school rugby from the GW field. Check it out. The Southern High Dolphins and Guam High Panthers met up for Week 4 play in the GRFU ISA Rugby League. Simon Sanchez was this week's host over at the GW field. Panthers looking for their second win of the season, while Southern is trying to climb from the middle of the pack. Southern High's Jayan Andrew gave her team the 5-0 lead after the conversion kick fell short. Teammate Jafania Andrew added another try before the refs called the game as time expired. Dolphins pick up the win 10-0, improving their record to 3 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw. Guam High is now 1-8-1. Simon Sanchez took on Ukudu in the next game. Sanchez in 4th place in the league standings, Ukudu in 6th. Sanchez got on the scoreboard first behind a Katrina Penaflor try. The kick after attempt sailed through for the 7-0 lead. After the final whistle blew, the Sharks would come away with the win 7-0. In other games, GW beat Ukudu 17-7. ND picked up the win over Guam High 29-14. Teason edged out Sanchez 7-5. GW slipped past Southern High 5-0. Teason blanked Ukudu 12-0. ND 14-10 over Sanchez, and the Royals picked up another win against GW 19-5. Girls varsity tackle games resume on Saturday, February 22nd at Southern High School when Southern hosts Notre Dame in the first game of the day at 9 in the morning. Boys varsity schedule for Saturday, 2:15 GW takes on Teason, 3:30 Ukudu faces FD, and at 4:45 Guam High will take on Southern High. RJ Santos bagged his first Aloha-made King of the Lanes 2020 monthly title by regaining his strike form in the championship match against youth standout Jeremiah Camacho. Top seed Santos opened the match with a turkey to take a 33-pin lead over the 16-year-old Southpaw and never looked back. Although Camacho was able to mount a couple of threats mid-game, Santos kept his composure and continued his attack mode, registering 3 turkeys, eventually pulling away from the younger foe. In the Prince of the Lanes finale, top seed Keone Affligui and second seed Philip Lopez battled throughout the game for supremacy. A 7-count split in the 8th frame spelled the demise of the top seed as Lopez claimed the maiden Aloha-made Prince of the Lanes title for 2020. The next Aloha-made King and Prince of the Lanes will be held on Sunday, March 22nd at 11 in the morning at the Central Lanes Bowling Center.
This is a bag, but for Steve, this bag gives him food cred. Because now everyone knows that when they have that craving, or they're just looking for the perfect deal, well, they just need to follow Steve.
Follow him all the way to the new McTerry Deluxe at McDonald's. It's an all-beef patty smothered with teriyaki sauce topped with lettuce and tomato on a sesame seed bun. For a limited time, price and participation may vary.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
My family is on whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume.
Since we installed the Docomo whole home Wi-Fi, what did you guys notice about it?
When you pull up the driveway, it automatically connects, and I don't have to get out of my car right away and come upstairs to go on my phone.
My favorite thing is that it doesn't buffer when I'm watching YouTube.
My favorite thing is that when Addie calls now, there's no lag. Like before, it used to be where I couldn't see her sometimes and I have to hang up and then call her back, and now I don't have to do that.
You know what's a good thing too is that when you come over to visit, I could give you your own password. I can assign a time limit so that I can say that you can only be on it for 1 hour. So that means you won't get in trouble from your mom.
And then you can go home.
The thing that I love the most is that I can freeze the internet for periods of time so that we can enjoy dinner time like this. Why are you rolling your eyes? So I'll turn it back on after dinner.
Whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Based on the blockbuster that has critics craving. It's the all-new Buffalo Chicken Nacho Fries, topped with shredded chicken and drizzled with tangy buffalo sauce. Bring home this mouth-watering sequel with Taco Bell delivery.
With regional headlines, here's KSPN 2 News.
Hafa Guam, here are the headlines for CNMI. Asiana Airlines has released the news of a 2-day suspension of flights to the CNMI.
We just got a phone call this afternoon that they are suspending the February 18th and February 19th flights. And these are the evening flights. And will resume February 20th due to low passenger numbers.
The airline has only canceled the morning flights and will still operate the evening flights during the 2-day suspension.
This issue with Asiana suspending 2 days, 2 flights, 2 days, I think is a clear indication of just how uncertain times are, and as far as travel and for CPA who generates its own revenue to be able to fund its operation. One additional plane canceling would require the board to take immediate action to probably make additional cuts so that we can, meet our bond indenture requirements.
All the airlines that fly into the CNMI directly from the mainland China suspended their flights effective February 1st per order by the Chinese government.
According to the GAO report released on February 13, the CNMI economy grew in 2016 and 2017, but declined in 2018. The U.S. Department of Commerce Bureau of Economic Analysis reports the CNMI gross domestic product grew 28.4% in 2016 and 25.5% in 2017. This meant a continued growth in visitor spending, particularly casino gambling. However, Super Typhoon Yuto hit the CNMI in 2018, allowing the GDP to go down by 20%, and revenue from casino gambling dropped over 50%. The casino warned shareholders and potential investors of an expected loss for the first 6 months of 2019. The company's independent auditor also concluded that the financial information for the first half of 2019 may cause a critical doubt on the company's ability to continue. Stay with KSPN as this story further develops. This is Sally Lemis for KSPN News.
For more news, visit saipantv.com. For KSPN 2 News, I'm Ashley McDowell.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
February 17, 2020 is an amazing day to have a birthday because you share a birthday with, of course, 2 of our most esteemed presidents, and it's also NBA All-Star Weekend, so happy birthday to our sole birthday recipient, Renita. Renita, all your friends and family, including all of us at KUAM, the entire cast and crew of the KUAM family here, and your friends at Cold Stone Creamery, wish you the very best birthday, happy President's Day, happy NBA All-Star Game, and have an amazing, amazing day.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday. That's going to do it from us here on Primetime. Thanks for watching and have a good night.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Green